That is amazing. Do you know why that's amazing?
Thank you.
My parents got a cat after I grew up for my younger sister who lives here now.
Yeah.
And do you know what we named it? Cookie.
Really?
Seriously.
Oh, wow.
That cat was black though, because this is
You have any
amazing.
pets now?
Me, I don't, but my parents, well, my dad, I guess now, still has Cookie, and so she's still at home, and that's amazing.
That's so cool.
And do you know why we named her Cookie?
Huh?
We named her Cookie because my sister, at the time when she got the cat for her birthday presents, was wearing pajamas that had cookies on them.
Oh,
So that's how we came up with that name.
that's so cute.
Her Arabic name is Kaka, which is cookie.
Kaka.
Cookie in Arabic.
And here's the funny thing. Kaka was the word we used when my siblings were young to say, this is bad, don't touch that.
Oh, yeah,
Kaka.
yeah.
Kaka,
We
as in-
use the same in Russian, by the way.
Is
No,
that
that's
so?
Kaka, not Kaka.
Kaka? Yes.
Oh, okay.
Kaka means shit.
Full Kaka,
right?
yes.
That's awesome.
That's so funny, like the universal language for babies.
It's kind of neat how we all sort of like gravitate to the same words.
Yeah.
So, these are my friends that I have mentioned a couple times on my channel. This is Anna, and this is Husam, and I am doing a special trip to the airport, a sad trip because they are moving on from Calgary. I'm allowed to say where?
Montreal.
To I was about to say Toronto for some reason. So they are inspiring individuals who I had the pleasure of meeting, and we've hung out quite a few times. We've driven quite a few times, and it's a sad drive for me, but it's one that they are looking forward to as they look to new horizons.
Yes.
So yes,
That's super exciting. A little bit scary, but
a little
very
scary as well too.
Yeah.
So Husam, what would you say is your role now?
Sorry?
What would you say is your role now? You were a marketer, you were an entrepreneur,
Creator.
creator. I like that.
Creator, producer, writer, I would say.
And if we want to find out how to follow you, where do we find that?
Actually, my media channel. It's All Raw Media.
All Raw Media.
W.media.
Okay, I'll write that in the
Just a little
details.
plug right there.
Absolutely.
And put
And
that at the end so that they don't become an asshole.
I'm the one who's asking, so you don't seem anything of the like that. And Anna, she is a photographer,
Yes.
and so it's a lot of fun watching her do her craft and her art. And where do you feature your things anywhere?
Definitely.
Okay.
Instagram is a big platform for me.
Okay. And what's your handle on Instagram?
It's _Stacy.
Stacy.
Staise.
T-A-I-S-E. Okay.
Stacy. No,
Anastasia. Yeah, I was, well, my full name is Anastasia. I was kind of thinking how I can, make it my Instagram handle, but obviously all the variations of Anastasia were taken, so
Stacy.
I had to be very creative.
Creative?
Yes, that's my diva. Instagram diva name.
I think it's beautiful. It sort of matches your real name too, doesn't it?
It was the first 5 letters, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
And we just almost crashed because
Just about.
But we're having a good time.
We're having a fantastic time. And this is truly a multicultural vehicle whenever we're in here.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we've got an Ethiopian here, the Africans represent, and then we have
Middle East.
Middle
East,
Eastern,
yes.
and Russian. What continents are we missing?
Asia.
Asia,
Yes.
South America,
Yes.
Australia.
Yes. North America.
A few. So there's still room in here that we can find some more friends along the way, but that
Definitely.
depends if you're speaking geographical or
What kind of diversity?
I don't know.
Well, there's, definitely diversity.
Geographic diversity is one.
Yes. There is gender diversity.
Experience
age
diversity.
Yes.
Life experience diversity.
I was thinking we should tell the story of how we met too. So this starts with Husam.
Yes.
It was when I was going to Canmore and I was just doing like a test for immigration. It was just the last step of my day, and I still didn't find somebody to drive me to Canmore, and I just met you. And it was like, shit, you're the person. That's it. I just knew it. First
And that is how I met Anna that later that day when both of you guys were on your way to Canmore, and that was quite the trip too, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember we played some Post Malone.
Yes.
And we were a little stressed.
Escaping the city, the
Yeah,
COVID.
we were escaping. It was
scary.
kind of
Right.
crazy.
Right.
It actually was before the COVID hit like really bad and everything closed down.
Yeah.
Just like 5 days or 4 days.
Yeah,
I remember
just
that.
before.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
So crazy.
Yeah. it was-
What the hell is this here? Oh man.
And it was also snowing that trip too. I
Yes,
think it
that
was
was.
like
And
a
it was
really severe
super
storm.
cold.
It was minus 28 or something.
Oh, it was really cold too, wasn't it? Yeah, I didn't realize then that. And you asked me a question in another visit since then about I think what I thought when we first met about our future get-togethers, our friendship to develop, right?
Yes.
And I think you had a clearer idea than I did. You knew that you wanted to get together a lot more often and explore ideas, ideologies, perspectives, things like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're a good person, man.
Thank you.
You're a good human
Yes.
being.
Thank you.
You have a lot of great energy, you know?
Thank you.
And I guess the first time I trusted you because we're like looking for peace, and I just like trusted you, you know?
Hmm.
And that trust is very hard, you know? And it is a friendship. It's not, you know,
I like that it's mutual.
from day one.
We always have like very good and warm memories, you know, and
Yeah.
warm emotions when we think about you or talk about you.
Oh, shucks. That is wonderful.
Yes, it's very nice to meet good people in a way, you know. You don't get this very often.
The part that I really appreciated is that it deepened also in its nature. So like from the first time we met, it was substantial, you know, our connection.
Yeah.
But it continued to get deeper as we got more into, but what do you actually live for? What do you hold very dear, and how do you see the world? And so these guys, Husam was the one who encouraged me to consider a business idea on having a subscription for ridershare, and I love the idea. I totally would have given you hat tips to it, but I went in this direction more because this one demanded a lot more time. But we had a lot more very, very deep conversations since then. And Anna too, like when we were driving on our drives for your photo shoots.
Yeah.
I think you like actually pulled me on my shell. You're like, wow, you've got a history. By the way, I was just saying on my channel last night, I was spending time with my sister, and I'm doing a collaboration with my sister early next week. A lot of my followers think that I am this full of life, bubbly, always happy person. So I'm trying to convince them I'm actually normal and human, and that I do have like days that are just off and don't quite work the way I want them to. So I'm doing a collaboration with my sister, who knows me super well because we've pretty much grown up together, where she's going to interview me about all my past, my struggles, my history, my mistakes, the lessons I've learned along the way, just so that there's a more realistic sense of who I am that way. So that's coming up, but nonetheless.
Is your sister older than you or younger than you?
I am the oldest.
Okay.
So this sister is actually 14 years younger than I am.
That's cool.
I know.
Different generations, eh?
Yeah, totally different. And she's not the youngest. And she lives here in Calgary with her boyfriend. I find that she's the best one to interview me because there's a few folks who are quite suspicious about me on my channel. And they express their suspicion by saying, you can't be for real because there's no one who can be like this all the time. Or others who say something along the lines of, be careful, he must have bodies in his basement.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I have a lot of, and
You know,
here's,
even if you put the most positive thing in the universe, I'll tell you from years of experience and like engagement with comments, and
yeah,
50% are gonna find a way, even more.
Sure.
50% to
Yeah, some
always
people
discourage you. Doesn't matter why.
sure,
It's irrational, but
yeah.
you don't pay attention to those.
Yeah, I think I've had a lot of practice in my previous careers with rejection. So far I'm doing pretty well. But if anything, I think it proves for me that we're not all the same. and there's wonderful diversity. I'm not everyone's fit kind of thing. And additionally, I think it also gives me an opportunity to say I'm not all that I present. You know, you're only seeing the good side a lot more, and there's a lot more that I continue to try and figure out as best as I can. But the first sunny day in like days, it seems.
Yes, I'm so happy actually that it's sunny because it's been so cold lately.
Oh, I was even driving. Driving to Italia last night and yesterday. It was just wet, right? All through the night, I was just driving through rain and No, this is promising though. If you want to have some fantastic views out of the airplane. Oh, so we can save time. Let me get you guys to start filling this out here. This is just a
Actually, can I take a photo of this? I've been looking for a good release for my media company.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, you can take a photo.
Can I give you a video consent also?
A video consent? I need the signature at least of Husam.
Yeah. No, you should take a picture of it first.
Before I've got forms here. Husam, take a copy. Like there's a few copies underneath that.
Oh,
Take a copy with you and keep it, and you can photocopy it or so take a hard copy as well and feel free to use it. I can send you the Word document on your email